Hello, hello. Welcome all. Thank you for being here. I'm Jonathan Aragon, and this is a webinar on how to lose Zotero for your research and writing. Before we jump in, I just want to go over some participation guidelines. So whenever I do webinars, the way I like to do it is just participate however you want to, jump in and ask questions at any time, add to the discussion, do it in chat or out loud, whatever you feel comfortable with. Okay, so if you don't know what Zotero is, I'm assuming most of you do, but it's a citation management system. And like it sounds, it manages your citations, right? But it helps you collect, organize, and cite sources. It's an open source software, which means it's freely available for anyone to use, and its development is supported by a community of contributors, features. It captures metadata, organizes your collection of articles. It has automatic citation and bibliography formatting and generation. It syncs across your devices, so it will sync, on your laptop, your iPad. It will sync on the web, so that wherever you happen to be, you can access your collection. And even if you're like in the computer lab and you don't have your laptop with you, you can still log into your Zotero account and get all your sources and articles there. It helps with PDF management as well. You can store PDFs in it and write in it and edit it and save all your notes. One of you had mentioned Mendeley, so Mendeley is another one you could use to do similar types of tasks. EndNote is another one, RefWorks, Papers, and JabRef. JabRef is also open source, and it's more of a LaTeX version. But a lot of these other ones are paid, right? So that's the big difference between Zotero and some other citation management systems. It's a good choice because it's free and it's really easy to use, and it's very comprehensive. I've never had to use anything else for any reason. Like I was saying, the whole thing is your library, and then you have different collections in here. So I have one here labeled breakfast in bed, right? So if you click on one of these sources, you can see it has the information. So it's categorized the type, any notes and tags. I believe this one has a bunch of tags generated that you can search for your article by. And this metadata is automatically generated for you whenever you add a source. So there's a few ways you can add it. One of my favorite ways to add a source is using this direct digital object recognition, or ISBN, because when you add it that way, it will automatically crawl through the internet and get all the metadata that's related. So if it's missing something, enter in it using one of the other methods I'll show you. This will fill in those blanks. You can also, if you have more than one version and they have different metadatas, you can merge them. Article I've found on Google Scholar, and the journal articles will always have this DOI in it. So I can just copy it directly, paste it in there, and then it will automatically produce this file. So all this information was automatically generated. Okay. So another way is it has a browser extension for Firefox, Google Chrome, Safari, pretty much the major browsers. And you'll have an icon that appears here in the corner, right? So here's a thesis or dissertation. They don't have DOIs or ISBNs. They have repositories. So like when you publish your dissertation at CGU, it's going to be scholarship at Claremont and it will be in the repository here. But I don't have access to this university's repository. But I do have this PDF icon up here. So the way Zotero works is whatever folder, whatever collection you are already in that folder, whatever is open, it will automatically add it to that. So as long as that's the one you have open, if I click this PDF icon, it makes a green check mark and then it's added to Zotero. So it added the PDF for us, and then it also went and grabbed some information based on that. But it's classifying it as a journal article, and so it's actually a thesis. So I'm just going to select thesis, and that will update it. But when it comes to things that don't have like a DOI and it's not a typical web page, it's like a PDF file, it might be missing some stuff like the date. So you'll have to go back and enter 2018. It got the author and the title. We might want the university. Let's say you have a non-typical source like a podcast or something. Here's a podcast. I can click this icon here again, and it's adding it to breakfast in bed. So the only extra thing I would have to do is just find the episode, the podcast name and title, and then I would just change it to podcast, right? So they have categories for most things. If they don't, you can add it, and then I'll just add the episode number. And that's pretty much in there. You can find a book on Amazon and just copy the ISBN. Same thing goes for like Google Books. If I add the ISBN, there, it adds the book as well as all the metadata for it. And it went and captured all the different ISBNs associated with it. So if you wanted, you could just, I have a few duplicates so I can merge these. It will also show the duplicates in this duplicate items. And if I've added the same paper more than once, it will find them all. So you can simply just merge them. And when you merge them, it will make sure that the if there's data in one and data in another, it will make the data complete.
Does Zotero does it generate citations?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does.
Would that be when you're working on your paper, or where would you find those?
And say, you say this, create bibliography from item.
Mhm.
And then you can decide if you want an in-text citation or bibliography. If I click citation, it will be, right now it's APA, so it will be parenthetical. It will just paste in like that. And then let's say I wanted a bibliography, create bibliography from item. I just select bibliography here.
Is he sleeping? Oh,
Oh,
okay.
nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it will just paste in the
I don't think so. I guess you should go and come at 7:30 tomorrow morning. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Nice. Thank you.
and then you can do them all at once too. So if I just want to make a whole reference page, just highlight them all.
What if you want a footnote and you need the page number? or where you found a particular quote. Let's say you're putting a quote from a book and you need to show the page number. How do you do that?
Okay, I'll show you. Anyway, I copied all the sources, so they'll just paste in like that. For footnotes, I'm going to go to document preferences. And then I'm going to pick Chicago note, and then it will add footnotes. So whatever citations are made here, it will appear at the bottom of the page. You might have to go in page 22 or something like that. Or add that metadata in the specific citation. But here, see at the end of the document here, it will list the number of appearance on that page, and it will give the references as a footnote. Is that what you're looking for? All right. If you want to export it, right? You want to explore this collection, export items. And right now I have it CSV, but you can, you might want to see what your other citation uses. RefWorks will probably be pretty universal. Oh, here's EndNote, so that's what the one EndNote uses. BibTeX is pretty universal. If you export it as BibTeX, anything will basically take it. Oh, another thing you can do is you can add notes in here. This is theory of food in bed, right? And that note will appear when you export as well. And your note appears there. You can also add tags. So you can add tags, and then if you want to find a particular paper, it will pull up that one paper based on your tag. So you can search within it too. These PDFs, if you click on it, you can make notes within it. So you can add highlights, sticky notes, and all that will save within there. So if you want to use this to read your articles and save them as well, you can do that.
I'm using a lot of sources from historic newspapers that are in ProQuest. So can you save those? Right now I'm using, they have their own little saving system, but can you save those in Zotero also?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what file format they're in?
No idea.
You can save pictures, you can take pictures and put it in there. You can save it as a PDF and put it in there. Sometimes it will pick up the metadata and sometimes you'll have to enter it in manually. So this is the Zotero web version. So the one I was showing you before is the desktop application. So you can download the program on your desktop and use it that way. And anything you add on your desktop will automatically add in your web library. So if you're just on another computer and you want to log into the web, Zotero web, you will have all your sources there. And vice versa. Anything you add on the web will automatically add to your desktop app as well. You can create these group libraries. So let's say you're working with your advisor, your PhD advisor or something like that, and they're reading your paper and you don't want them to have to go and find all the sources to be able to check your sources as they're reading through them. I have one here, friends, scholars, and artists. Like this is a shared folder. So people I'm collaborating with, I can give them the link to this or add them in, and they can go and read, look at my reference page, find it in here. They don't have to go, log into the library or get behind the paywall. The PDFs and everything's in here already. What else? And then to do that, you just go to here to groups and then create a new group. I also have this open in Google Docs right now. So another way you can collaborate with people is if you're working on a paper together in Google Docs or something like that. It works the same way in here. There's a Zotero button. Yeah, so this is the Google Doc version. So this is what it looks like. You click the button, add it just the same as before, basically.
Citing a conversation and an email. I apologize if the picture got a little blurry. If anyone's interested, I'm happy to give another one, but just as an example of something I came across that was pretty rare in terms of citations.
Okay, I'm curious now.
If Zotero has quick automations for citing something like an email, or I know YouTube videos and social media have become popular now, but I still haven't seen a lot of email conversations in published work.
And then I would see, let's see if it has email. Yeah, it has email.
Oh, cool. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So I would add the email conversations in a PDF file, add it to Zotero, categorize it as email. Interesting. And then I would add tags to what kind of conversation it is. And then if you have to do any kind of analysis later based on themes or something like that, you can organize it by themes.
Yeah, I primarily use my iPad. Do you feel it's optimized to work on the iPad?
I don't use it a lot on iPad, but I believe it is on here. Yeah, so I just opened the app on the iPad.
Uh-huh. But is that on the internet using it?
No,
Or
it's
is
just
it
an app.
or is it in your Word document?
It's an app right here. You just download an app for
Oh.
iPad,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and then you click the Zotero button. It just
And then
opens
it
up.
feeds the references into your document.
It's all synced across all your devices.
Okay.
So if you download the Zotero app on anything that's available on it, then and as long as you log into your account, all the same sources will be there. And so yeah. And then with the iPad, you're able to use your pencil and draw on it or do whatever. So you can write your notes that way if you prefer. And they'll all be there.
Well, that'll be fun. Thank you.
Yeah, it is fun.
Would you download the Zotero connector or the Zotero 7 for Windows? Does it matter?
You should do both.
Both? Okay.
The connectors for your browser.
Mm.
And then download the Windows is for your computer. And then there'll also be a connector for, we start with the writing process. Let's say you have a Microsoft Word document open, right? You can add a Zotero plugin to it. And then you can insert citations from your Zotero library. So you see I clicked it here at the top. And then I'm going to this button that says add citation. And then you can pick what citation style you want. So in this instance, I'm picking APA 7th edition. And then you have some articles in your Zotero library. So in your Zotero library, you have the whole thing is called your library. And then you have these subfolders, which are collections. So assuming you're writing a paper on breakfast in bed, I don't think anyone will be doing a dissertation on that. But you know, I tried to.
It's a good idea.
It's a good idea. I'm sure it has a lot of benefits, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you could do the psychology of breakfast in bed. Okay. So you have a collection in here, and then you just click the article that you want, and then it will generate an APA style citation for that, as you can see right here. So I'm just doing that for a few different sources here.
I'm recovering from a broken leg. So my exercise program is my sister refuses to deliver breakfast in bed.
Your exercise program is dealing with your sister's refusals.
She won't deliver breakfast in bed. So I've got to
Oh.
get up and do the exercise and go out and get my own breakfast. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's her physical therapy for you, is making
Yeah.
you get your own breakfast.
Yes, tough love.
It's tough love. How do you feel about that?
It's entertaining.
Good. Sisters will be sisters. All right. So now that I've added those citations in here throughout the document, they're in-text citations. There's another button here in Microsoft Word called Add Edit Bibliography. So I'm going to click that, and then it automatically generates a bibliography based on those citations. It's a little fast.
Sorry, how did you get to this page that has these little, you said it was a plugin, a plug?
Yeah, it's you just add a plugin in your Microsoft Word document, and I'll give you the link for how to do it, how to add it. But
Is it compatible with the Microsoft 365 mobile apps?
it is, yeah.
I
I'll
primarily work on my iPad.
Yeah, you can use it with Google Docs, and you can use it with OneDrive, which is Microsoft 365.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. So this is sort of the end product. So this is already down. And I'm just going to change the citation style. So I'm changing it from APA to IEEE, which will make numbered citations rather than author date style. So see, they're numbered. Now instead of them being listed alphabetically in the references, they're listed by order of appearance. And you will see that the in-text citations are on par with that as well. So it's changed into a 1.
Does APA 7 approve of that?
No, this is not APA style, but what I'm essentially showing you is if you write your papers with Zotero, for your citation management, if you need to change it, let's say you write your dissertation and you want to now turn it into a book and you want to use endnotes or footnotes so people can read the source as they're going through the book. Or if you wanted to submit to one publisher and now you're doing it in another discipline, maybe you're multidisciplinary and you're submitting it to another journal article and they want a different citation style, you don't have to redo your whole paper. You can just change your document preferences and it will automatically reformat the whole document for you.
Thank you.
This might help also if you're collaborating with faculty. So if you're working with other faculty or you're working with your advisor on your PhD, you know, they might they might be publishing in a particular article that it has to fall into a specific citation style language. So maybe you have an old APA paper that you already wrote and you need to change the citation style language. You can do that pretty easily just using Zotero like this in your documents. But now you want to move a section to another place and then the numbering is going to be all off. So I'm just showing you here that once it's formatted with Zotero, I can move citation number 3 up to the top of the document and it will automatically renumber it as number 1. So a dissertation is a very big document. You're going to have a big literature document like a dissertation. It can be really difficult if you're using something like a numbered citation style, because if you move a section from one spot of the document to another, all the numbering will be off and you'll have to go correct that manually. With Zotero, if you move one section of your paper to another, it will automatically change the numbering of the citations. So I'm just going to pull citation number 3 here and move it to the top. And now it's
you're taking literature notes and sort of putting it in a card file that looks like a Dewey Decimal, card. And then it's referencing other things. So it's traditionally called a Zettelkasten, but it's now known, which actually just means slip box. So there is a PDF or there is a page somewhere on the CGU website for the notion of a slip box. So, but it's sort of a second brain. So you're getting all your notes into one place and they're cross references, and then you have this. You start to see how ideas connect. So it's a sort of an idea generator. So, but it's
curious.
But it used to be done. I forget what the guy's name is, but he wrote just a boatload of papers in a short amount of time in his life, right? So because he always had this box with these ideas that were cross-referenced to one another. So he was able to see connections between ideas that he hadn't, rather than just, sort of it running around in our heads. He had it in, a box, but now it's moved to digitally. So anyway, that's.
Maybe you can do a webinar on it for us.
Sure. I'm still trying to figure out what are all the digital tools that one actually needs to, what's the best way to do it. There's a couple of books out there and they're all written from their own perspective. Use this tool, don't use that tool. This is better. That's here's how to take notes. But there is something that is kind of pleasant about about having a large, what looks like a library card, file of all your notes over the years. But now it's mostly done digitally. So you can start to see how ideas from disparate literature sources, and thoughts that you have come together, because that's what research is about, is putting together new ideas and moving it forward. So anyway, I guess there's some there's some room to grow with that. So, but I am by no means
Yeah,
Qual-
there's
no means qualified in any way to comment or, to teach on it.
oh, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of different tools out there. It's just about doing the research enough to know what you need and what works best for you.
So it may not be appropriate for dissertation work, but if so postdoc work is you're, writing new things and continuing on, or it might be, it's just, but it's moved digitally, but somehow there's something, I've seen a picture of an actual Zettelkasten of, it looks like a bunch of Dewey, pull out slides from from the library, just in a box. So now we've moved that to digital, but the idea of having all of that, your thoughts and literature notes and things that you liked and were drawn to, sort of all stuck in one place. So anyway, and you can integrate Zotero with it at some point.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah. All right, that's all I got.
Are these links that you sent in the chat, are they unique links that you only have access to, or are you able to email them to us? Just because I am trying to download this app in a different device.
When you did the links not work, is that what you're saying?
No, they are working, but is it the same? Would it be like the same link if I'm trying to download it in another computer?
Yeah.
Did I just look it up and download it, or?
Yeah, it should go directly to the Zotero download page. And then you just pick which computer you're using. Is it a PC or a Mac?
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna stick around in case anybody has any questions or if you want to keep chatting, but I also want you to know that you're free to stay and you're also free to go.